Hello, everyone. Welcome to Freedom Inc.'s People's Forum. I am your host, Ma Yang. My pronouns is she, her, and her, and I am the community power building organizer here at Freedom Inc. Um, just a little bit more about Freedom Inc. as so I want to let folks know about Freedom Inc.'s mission. Freedom Inc.'s mission is a queer and feminist profit that organized within low to no income Black and Southeast Asian communities. Our focus is on women, girls, and LGBTQ and I plus community. Our mission is to achieve social justice through the cup, cupping, coupling of direct services with community organizing. Freedom Inc. also works to challenge the root cause of violence, poverty, racism, and discrimination. Our belief is that people who are most affected by these issues must have voice, power, resources, and choice in order to for true social change to happen. So, Freedom Inc.'s vision is to live in a world of Black and Southeast Asian liberation, a world where we are free from colonial domination and free to express our collective power. We use collective power and control over resources to meet basic needs, enable people to reach their potential, and allow people to love who they want and live how they want. So we're gonna talk about the two candidates that is running for the mayor office in April 4th. Coming up, that is Santia. She is the current mayor, and she and her administration is focused on affordable housing, rapid transit, climate change, and racial equality. The other candidate that is running for mayor is Gloria. She is a former Madison police officer and is a former president of the Madison School Board. And before we go on, I want to explain how this process is going to work. Behind me, I do have community members that are here to discuss about their concerns. And issues that matters to them. We are going to focus a majority on the policing in Madison and how Madison has increased their investment into the police, but that's not what we need. We need to divest in them, and we need to increase in what our community actually needs, right? Like healthcare, better housings and stuff, right? So we're also going to dive into um, the Assembly Bill of '69 that would require public schools to report any incident that occurs in school buildings or on school grounds to local law enforcement. Um, Again, what is it? We really want to focus on divesting in from the police and investing in the community and see if this is actually what the community wants, right? According to the MSD, School Resources Officers Arrests and Citations Report in 2019 and in 2020, there were 84 incidences that was involved with MMSD students, right? And at least 51 of them includes students who identify as Black or African American. So what is it? Santia's opinion in 2020 was that she support ending the school's resources officers program that is present in that was present in the school district. They were since able to remove the school or the police from the schools in that year. And then Gloria, she believes that the school district has had a time to assess and evaluate solutions for school violence without officers, and she believes that she wants to push for a communication, a conversation to add officers back into the schools. Um, so I really want to ask the community around me today to uh, put into give their input. I really want to know if how they think about Santia and Gloria's point of view, and I want to know if they were mayor, what issue would they, how would they solve this issue of violence in school, and if they will still involve the police in it. So, um, what is it? Nina, didn't you said you wanted to talk about police free school?
Uh, Actually, I was speaking on housing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, we might get to housing. We might
Well,
not.
as far as
Yeah.
the police officers in the schools, I'm kind of like
Mhm.
torn. It's
Right.
a pro and con between it. You know, and the way the kids are today, it makes me think that they should be in the school,
Mhm.
you know, when necessary, but they're not always around right there. Like maybe have a separate space for them to
Mhm.
be in, and then if there's a problem, you know, then they're right there. But it's intimidating for the
Yeah.
kids, you know, just to see them
Mhm.
right there all the time. But then when they're right there all the time, they're less, you know, they're not more. I mean, they're not. What's the word I'm trying to say? You know, they
They're not helping you. They don't help.
yeah. No,
Let's, yeah.
I mean, but he right there. You know, they're less likely to get in trouble when they know that the police officer is there.
Mhm.
You know, but then you have
Yeah.
the knuckleheads that with, I don't know if I can say that, but that's what I'm saying, that you know, don't give a dang if the police officers are there. So it's a pro and a con to both.
Mhm.
And the way I feel, I think that they should be, and that's my opinion, but just not always right there. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, because I believe how they had it in the school was that um, they were always there and they were like in the hallways or whatever
Mhm.
and whatnot. So yeah.
I mean, you want the kids to feel comfortable and safe.
Right.
You know, you just don't want them to feel intimidated, you know, because that does something to their psyche.
Right.
You know, so just let them be free to be kids and do what they're supposed to do, but at the same time know that they're there so that they won't create any issues for the students that are really there trying to learn.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Do you guys have any opinions about police in school?
They don't help though.
Well,
They don't help though.
Are you saying the police doesn't help?
They
No,
don't
the
help.
boys don't help at all. If they get to a fight, they're not there to stop it.
Oh, see, and that's the only reason why I
Yeah,
thought that they were there.
Yeah.
You know, if they're
Mhm.
not there for that reason, then they shouldn't be there.
Yeah, they don't need to be there.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
They
they're
don't help though.
right.
Yeah, that's true.
If they are in fight, they don't help.
Yeah, that's
And
They
you
don't-
guys are in the school system
Yeah.
now, right?
No, not anymore.
Not
anymore,
They
but
you
just-
were there.
we all graduated.
Yeah.
Okay.
They used to be in there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we used to be in there.
We do be in there. They don't help though.
Or did you guys feel
Do you-
comfortable?
Do you feel
And be
Uh,
honest. Be honest.
No, I don't feel comfortable. We
Yeah,
need
I
to learn.
don't. Yeah, I don't.
We need
I
to
don't feel.
concentrate
I
on
don't
school.
feel comfortable.
Oh, dude. Oh, so you said you're the youngest out of all the other ones.
yeah.
You were the most recently there. You
Yeah.
said you don't feel comfortable with the school, a police officer there.
Yeah,
Do you every day see the officer there? Where do you see them?
I don't. I don't see them every day, but like I'm saying, like
Just knowing that they're there.
yeah,
There.
and then there's like the office. No, you ain't the
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable. They're there.
Okay.
And you say that they don't stop the fights?
Yeah,
Yeah, they don't start the fight.
Yeah, so it's like, why were they there even?
Yeah, I'm saying, like,
yeah, they don't
yeah,
start the fight.
Right.
yeah,
like
like you
to
said.
like to pull a hair, or they
Yeah.
have to take
Yeah.
like so off, and they have to fight a lot. So,
Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
yeah,
They
I was
don't
gonna
help
say.
a lot though.
yeah,
They
they
need
don't
to
help.
help.
Yeah,
Man.
they don't help at all.
Yeah, they don't.
Like they start fighting. They like
They
Just
look.
break it up, or they
Yeah.
They
don't
look.
even.
They stay on look. They don't help. They don't have to start a fight.
Oh, wow.
but the teacher just
Break them
Yeah,
apart.
the teacher do it, not the police.
Yeah.
Not the police. The teacher do it.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
teacher
so
just-
see, in that instance, they don't need to be there. If they
Yeah,
don't need to be
so
there.
if you guys, if the other question on here
Yeah, uh-huh.
is, if you guys were mayor, right? If you guys
What
were
do you mean,
mayor,
male mean?
the mayor is
Uh-huh.
the person that's a great question.
Yeah.
I hope I'm explaining this
Yeah,
correctly.
right.
But I believe that the mayor is the person that oh my god, I'm about to that sort of not control Madison,
Right,
but
he
is
runs
but
it on the day-to-day.
yeah, help run Madison.
The
right?
police
They
officers and-
they'll come up with ideas of how to make Madison a better place
Mhm.
or whatever or
Yeah.
whatnot. So if you guys were so if you guys were mayor, okay, how would you guys make school a safer place?
No police.
Okay,
Well,
okay, okay. You said no police. How will you replace the police?
I don't know how to answer that.
I don't know how to answer that.
come on. How will you?
I mean,
Brenda, you wanna shine in?
No.
Brenda, you want to sign in?
If I was mayor,
Like, how will you replace the police?
1% at a time, please. Thank you.
I think
Como
that the
talking?
children
Now it's back to
Okay.
you.
Okay. So what is it? We really want to focus in on divesting in the police because I don't know if you guys know this, but the police, what is it? The Madison's budget has invested around $87 million into the police budget or whatever or not. And we just saying that like the youth needs to be invested. Our one of Freedom Inc.'s values is to one of our what is it campaign is to take police out of school, and then after that use that money that you are investing in the police to invest in the use creativeness or whatever or not,
Okay.
right? That and then also having like after school programs for the youth for them to actually participate
Right,
in
so that
or
they
whatever
have
or
something
whatnot.
to do.
Yeah, because they also this is so off topic. I'm not gonna say that because it's too off topic. But
But it's
yeah,
okay.
so that's what we want to do, right? We want to divest in the police and invest in youth. What is it? We could talk about another thing is housing. I did have housing up. There was a fact here that I was able to pull. Let me see if I can find that fact. They said that within the school year of 2018 to 2019, there was at least 1,061 students that were reported to be homeless, and that is at least 3.9 of the entire school district population, right? So yes, so let's do go ahead and lead right into housing, right? Um, what is it? How do you guys think the mayor should react about housing? How could they solve the issue of housing, in your opinions?
Well, I think they need to act urgently because it's like you were saying with the homelessness, it's not just with
Mm-hmm.
children, it's with everyone.
Right.
You know, and then they building all these apartment complexes and the rent is sky high, so they need to put a rent cap on some of these landlords because they can go up whenever they want to.
Right.
And if you on a fixed income, you can't afford these
Yeah.
places. You know, so they
Yes.
need to have a rent cap.
Mhm.
And people need to start coming together and going down to City Hall and explaining to them that that's too much. You know, we can't do that. Can't nobody
Right,
live
because
like that. You got people, 8, 9 people living in one house just so they can make ends meet.
right,
You know?
and then after paying the rent, they don't even have enough money to
Right.
make ends meet.
Right.
So like,
So it's like we just some damn gerbils going around
right,
in circles.
yeah.
and then look, they
I
gonna
remember
ball.
folks saying that like in these expensive housing complex that they're building up right now, right? It's like medium to like low income houses. There's
Mhm.
only like a few units that is like actually low income, whatever
Right.
or not. And I'm just thinking like they are within that building anyways. So then what is stopping them from like skyrocketing the pay, right?
Right,
Whatever,
and
the
there's
rent and
nothing
stuff.
to stop it. That's why
Right.
they need that rent cap.
Mhm.
You know, to make
Yeah.
landlords see that they cannot go up whenever they want to. My landlord goes up every 2 years.
Mhm.
So it's like, what?
Right.
You know, and then when
I,
you
I
go
really
and
wish
try,
Mr. was here because
buy a
Mr. has a
house.
great
Yeah,
example, but
and
yeah.
me personally,
not here.
I'd rather just own a house. Because the rental system is nuts.
Yeah,
It's,
it
it's
is.
nuts.
It is. I was just talking about how like
And it's for everybody, not just
Mhm.
blacks, not just Asians, not just
Yeah.
whites. It's nuts everywhere. You know, and if you're not making $1 trillion a year, you can't afford this housing market or
Yeah.
the rental market.
And I also think that they used to have programs called Second Chance for banks. I think they need second chance for people.
Did they stop doing that?
Just stop doing it. They need to do it for housing because a lot of people have been millionaires. And if one thing is like a domino effect
Right.
happens, then they're homeless. And a lot of people have lost their way. They're suicidal ideation, prisons, and you name it. But I think that these people
Mental
need to be
health.
given mental health a second chance because these people can't afford the rent. And if they can't afford the rent, you're going to find more people on the streets.
Right.
And my grandson goes to one city, and there's a lot of kids there that's homeless. You know, they have to get their clothes washed. They come to school
Okay.
with dirty clothes, and they have to wash their clothes. And these kids, and nothing is being done about it. They're homeless and they're acting out and they're
Self-esteem
upset.
issues.
It affects their self-esteem,
Mhm.
The
and
whole cycle.
something should be done about it.
Oh my
But
God.
these people need a second chance, you know, because you walk around, they are sleeping bundled up in the cold and cardboard boxes,
Right.
and they're freezing. I saw a lot of them on the east side, and it was raining, and I stopped and I was giving them, you know, money, and I wanted to just try to go and feed them and take food there, but nobody else would go with me. But these
Right.
people are hungry,
You know,
and they're out in the
Mhm.
streets, they're homeless, and but I think something should
Yeah.
be
How do
done
you
to
guys
it.
think about the housing situation here, like the homelessness?
It's
How could they?
sad.
Yeah.
It is sad though.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
me and a couple of my girlfriends, we would just go to Goodwill, get up a whole bunch of stuff. Like when they had the tents over about Arby's off East Washington.
Yeah.
We would go and get blankets, you know, just use stuff and just go and take it to them and pass it out, you know. And then like whenever I had leftover food from anywhere, I would just take it over there
Yeah.
and put it in to-go containers. I mean, we would do what we can, but you know, I just couldn't, you know, let them coming to my house, and a few of them I did let come in
Yeah.
and take showers, but those were the people that I knew, you know. I couldn't let everybody come, you know, and keep themselves clean, but it's like with the help of the community, you know, I think we can get rid of homelessness and housing.
If people would band together
Uh-huh.
rather than,
We're not being so selfish,
Right.
you know. Everybody just me.
Right.
But it can happen to you, you know.
Mhm.
Everybody out there thinking, oh,
Yeah,
that
I
may
like
never
that,
happen
like,
to me.
that domino effect
Right.
thing is very depressing. Like
Yeah.
you just lost your job,
Mhm.
and then now you have to worry about like losing your house, your apartment, whatever and
You
whatnot,
got
and
kids
then
you
just go
gotta
down.
feed, you know, and it's like that's a lot, you know.
Mhm.
That's really a lot, and that's where the mental health issue comes in. That, you know,
Right.
you got kids. If you not right, your kids not gonna be right, you know. And then they got to get out in the public and deal with other kids, and kids are nasty. They're mean and cruel. They're gonna say, "Oh, you homeless, you a bum, you this,
Right.
you stink, you that," you know, and that
Right.
just messes with the kids on top of the issues that they already have, you know.
Hmm.
So it's a lot that the mayor and
Yeah.
everybody else up there in that city county
Yes.
building and the Capitol need to hear about.
Right. Me and Miss Jewel was just talking about the other day about how my family, my siblings are wanting to move out or whatever or not. But
Mhm.
then like a room with like just 2 bedrooms was already 1,000 plus.
Yeah.
Right. And then that's not just 2 rooms, not gonna fit like all my brothers, because
Right.
no offense, all my brothers and won't stick together, right? So
Right.
2 rooms not gonna fit them. There's 4 of them here. They're gonna need at least 2 apartments,
Mhm.
and that's gonna be at least 2,000.
Right.
Like, who has the money for that? Seriously.
Got to work
Oh.
like a Hebrew slave, you know,
Yeah.
just to make ends meet. You know?
Even when you work so hard,
Right.
you don't see that paycheck. You
Right.
don't see that.
and they're
So
broke by the time
Right.
they finish paying their rent.
yeah,
They don't have
exactly.
any money left. The electric bill is astronomically expensive, and
Yeah.
I mean, I own a home, and I have a lot
Yes.
of compassion for people.
Our electricity bill is like 300 a month. Oh, don't even talk about it. Anyways,
And then that's not even talking about the water bill.
yeah,
It has
yes, the
gone
water
up.
bill.
Mm.
Hush. Anyways.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's draining.
Yes,
It's
it is.
exhausting.
Yeah.
You know,
It
it's
is.
And like I keep
overwhelming.
hearing these people saying that like, oh, if you want to be successful, work hard. And I'm just like, work hard. I've been working so hard. Like I don't like even on weekends. I was sometimes like only get like a few hours of rest. And,
We
like,
killing ourselves
Yeah,
trying to
exactly.
live the American
Yeah,
dream.
right. Yeah,
You know,
right.
we're
Yeah,
literally
right.
dying every day we get up to go to work.
Yeah. We go work every
So,
day.
Yeah.
We tired up.
Right. And some working 2 and 3 jobs, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
just to make ends meet.
Yeah.
Oversleeping because you done exhausted yourself, you know, you late for this job, and you thinking you going to that job. It's like, oh my God. You missed the being late paying rent, then you got a late fee. You know, so I mean, all of
Right,
those factor
those
in
late
together,
fees.
you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know dang on well, I work 1,000 jobs. You can let that slide. But they just so money hungry.
And when they tell you that, oh, if one job is not enough, go get a second job.
Right.
Oh.
And then another thing
Right.
I hate about housing, as far as evictions, when I
Yeah.
was with a family member that went to court, and the fees were so astronomically expensive, and I was told the person, well, you can go see if the landlord told this person, family member, to go and see if the landlord would let you in and blah, and it was not possible. And that person lives with me, has been residing with me for the least 5 years.
Yes.
And they make things so impossible, you have to jump over hurdles.
Right.
Mhm.
And you're gonna continue to jump because
Yeah.
it's set for people to fail.
Yep. This
Mhm.
system
And
is
the
Yeah.
set up
system
for
is
failure.
just
So yeah, so one of our values here at FI is mutual aid. Do you guys know what mutual aid is?
No.
Okay, mutual aid is it started with a group of Black women where they found out that no matter how hard they work, they can't just afford if I needed a medical bill, I can't afford it by myself. So
Mhm.
they came together and put a bunch of money together. And if somebody needed like to go to like the emergency room, they will take out that money for that person. If they were down, if like this family didn't have any food, these group of women will come up with food and bring it to that family as mutual aid, right? I help you and you help me, right? What you have, you could give me, and then next time, farther along down the line, if I have something, I could give that to you
Yes.
or whatever or not,
Yes.
right? In the Hmong community, that show up as when we used to just farm all day long so that we could get those resources for us to use, right? We'll ask our community members. Today we all go do this one person's garden, and then tomorrow we'll all go to this one other person's garden and do that or whatever. Now, so that was part of our mutual aid in the Hmong community.
Well, we don't
What
have
is
that
it?
unity anymore, though.
Mhm.
Like I said, with the selfishness, because
Yeah.
I know when I was growing up, we had that unity
Yep.
where we all had helped each other, family. You could see any given kid
Right.
taking food down to one
Yes.
family or taking clothes to another family.
Mhm.
All of that is just not
Yeah.
how it is
Neighborhoods
now.
band
Yeah.
together,
Mhm.
everybody stuck together as
Yeah.
a whole community, but now
It's
Yeah.
just all over the place.
And I feel like that's because we are very, very spread out too nowadays. Because of gentrification, we are just so spread out. Anyways, what is it? So, what is it? So the police so the city has around close to, like I said before, this goes back into them investing in the police and not investing in us, right?
Right.
The city is investing up to almost $90 million into the police. Yes, into the police, and not willing to give that to
Right.
all the other places that can actually help us
That's
and
not
benefit
re-
us
Yeah.
or whatever or whatnot.
That's not
We're
resolving the
talking.
issue.
We're
They need to
talking.
be
One of the reasons why we're talking about divesting in the police is because does the police actually help us get housing?
No.
The police actually help us get health, or does the police actually really do anything to our community?
No.
They don't. They actually don't really do anything to our community, and that's why we resource back to us helping ourselves,
Mhm.
right? That's what Freedom Inc. is trying to create here. Our
Yes.
mutual aid program is asking for the community whatever you could give us. Yeah, whatever you could give us, please give it to us so we could give it to someone that is also in need or whatever or not. So yeah, so that's part of our values. And then at the same time, our community we can only go so far, right? Because like Freedom Inc. is a nonprofit organization, right? Because we are nonprofit, we don't really get other money from like the government to like support with this or whatever and
Right.
stuff, right? So we
all
can only go so
donations.
far. We depend on donations and stuff, right? And we also need that. That's why we also elect these officials to actually look out for our needs, right? Like these older people where like they're supposed to represent this district and they come to like this common council meeting and talk about what is actually needed in my community and whatever, whatnot, right? That's why we go out and vote, and that is one of yes, that is one of our other values, is that we believe in voting. And we even though like we know that voting is not the only way to get to where we want to be, we also want to do community organizing, right? Coming together and building a bond. And
We can start running in our own neighborhoods.
right,
Aldermen.
letting our people in our community know that we could actually be the people that could run for mayor or run for alderman or whatever
Yep.
or not and
Yep.
stuff.
I got a question. Does the mayor have a relationship with Freedom Inc?
I do not believe so.
Has she ever been here? Spoke here? Been here?
She has not. Something that I forgot to explain. at the very beginning of all this is that Freedom Inc. is not partisan. They do not endorse in any of the candidates that's running for mayor, and we are actually not allowed to let anyone or tell anyone who to vote for. We're only letting you guys, yeah, we're only letting the community know that there are two people running for mayor and for them to go out and vote, for them to make sure that go vote. Early voting is actually starting today, and it's gonna go until April 2nd. So if you guys can, you know that you guys can't vote on the day of, please do try to go and early vote. Early vote happens in a lot of the libraries that is around town, so you can go to any library around
So
town.
are they not welcome here since you're not?
They are. They are. We actually did ask the candidates to come because this was originally supposed to be a candidates forum, so that we could actually ask our question to them and they could actually answer. But we reached out to them and they were not able to come. Um, I don't remember what Gloria's explanation was. She just said that she has a conflict today and will need to reschedule. And then Santia's, they actually have a common council meeting right now. So then she couldn't make it because she was going to attend that. So yeah.
Could you guys reschedule that? That will, you know.
Yeah, it was really out of our control because we did not only suggest one time to both of them. We suggested a few times, and we also was like, we know that if these times and dates does not work for you, please do tell us a time and date that does work, and we'll try to make it work.
That's
Or
when we
whatever,
need to
or
go to
not.
their office.
And were you provided?
We were not.
alternatives
We were
by-
not.
By either candidate?
No, we were not.
Mm.
So. Yeah, they just mentioned something about Santia just campaign just mentioned something about what is it?
But they want
Um,
votes.
Right.
there are other forums out there for us to join their forums. So
But they
yeah.
want our votes. Bet you they be quick to answer, respond to us when we voting for their butts. Ooh, are we gonna talk? We not gonna talk.
Anything else you guys wanted to say about housing? I know you came in late. Did you hear our housing conversation? What do you think? No.
Yeah, tenants definitely need more rights, yeah.
Mhm.
As far as housing, and I see discrimination in housing.
It's-
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's like kind of ridiculous, and housing don't have like housing advocates, you know. I think it needs to be more investment in housing advocates. Some people don't know how to fill out a housing application, some people don't know how to navigate housing, you know.
You don't have those resources already available?
I believe what they're.
Very limited.
Very
Limited.
I mean, at the job center, I believe there's literally one person that.
That's not gonna-
That person volunteers, so good luck with helping the entire county when they just volunteer.
They only volunteer. How long do they volunteer for is the question. Okay.
And being homeless creates more issues, mental illness,
Yeah.
and that creates
Yeah.
more issues, so.
I
With the
know,
police.
I know a person that he says his homelessness procures his criminality.
Yeah, cause I mean,
It
what else do they
procures
have
his
to do?
criminality.
They gotta eat, they ain't got no job.
They don't
where
have
gonna
nowhere
get
to
money
sleep.
from? Nowhere to
They're
sleep.
gonna be in parking lots, the police are
Right.
gonna be after them, and
That's that domino effect again, you
it's
know?
just,
Hmm. Yeah.
But I
Okay.
think us, I mean,
But they
as
want to the public hour.
a
Public
whole,
food.
yeah, the people, we just need to come together, you know, we can't keep letting
Right.
the police officers and these
Yes, this
senators
is
and
why we
aldermen
Mhm.
dictate what we need. We need to start taking
Yes.
accountability for ourselves and doing the things that we need in our community for
Right.
ourselves.
This is why Freedom Inc. also believes in community control.
Mhm.
Sorry, something was in my throat. Believe in community control, right? Because like we said, nobody knows our community as best as we do. We actually live in them. We actually know what's going on.
right.
What exactly does like these people know? Like, why do they think that we believe in police when we know that we don't believe in police ourselves, right? We know that, what is it? They need to, again, okay, let's just sum it back up, right? Summing it all back up so that I know that we have like 20 minutes about. I'm just gonna sum everything that we talked back up. We talked about divesting in the police and investing in the community, whether that is in school or whether that is in housing. We just need to make sure that we want cops to stay out of schools, um, or if they are in school, actually make them help the kids or whatever or not. And yeah, and like just that. I'm going off topic. I'm so sorry. But there's that, and then about the housing issues, right? We need all these resources into housing, but where's all the money going to? The police.
And
A lot of the money is going to the
We need the
police.
aldermen
Mhm.
active.
Yeah.
Because if we
We
have
gotta
an
call them.
issue, they don't call back.
Right.
Right,
know,
exactly.
and
So
as a
how are they
case
supposed to?
manager-
How are they supposed to represent the community when
Right.
they are not listening to
Right.
their neighborhoods, right?
Right.
Their districts or whatever.
And
or
then
not.
there's a lot of discrimination going on
Mhm.
with aldermen, because as a case manager, I've, advocated for people, and the list is a mile long, and they never call you back.
Mhm.
So, and what do? I mean, somebody has to take
Right.
affirmative stand for
Mhm.
things that's going on in the community.
Yeah, and just like throwing it out there too, like the mayors and the older people needs to make time to actually go out and talk to the community
Right.
or whatever or not. Or if they're in their offices, they need to make time to allow people to come to them about issues that bothers them or whatever or not, right? Because these people that we elect into office is actually supposed to work for us, right? Not work against us, right? What we need is actually what they are supposed to be working towards or whatever or not, right?
And
So-
they always address, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. When they get in the
Right.
office,
But they
you
don't
don't
do
see
nothing.
nothing.
Mhm.
Nothing.
Right. They
Right.
always tell us what they think we want to hear, but once
Mhm.
they get that title, we
That is
kick
where-
to the curb.
That is where we need to hold them accountable.
Yeah.
We need to remember what they say, and then we need to start holding them accountable.
Right. And that's why I'm saying the
Right.
community, we as the people, as a whole, we
We
really
the
put
people.
them in there.
Right,
We have the
exactly.
right to get them out.
Right.
So we got to
Yes.
start stepping up to and doing what we're supposed to do
Yes.
and just quit
Yes.
complaining.
Form
They not
bonds.
doing it. They not
Right.
doing that. But we
Yes,
voted them
yes.
in, so we can't
Mhm.
complain.
Yeah,
We
talking
gotta
about going back to voting, right?
Right.
I love our conversation. It's like going in circles.
Yeah, but still.
Going back to voting, right? Because I know that a lot of people that I approach when they say they don't want to vote, the main one reason that they don't vote is because laughing somewhere.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I see it.
Yeah. It goes back into voting where like they said that they don't want to vote because they don't see any changes. Well, my answer to that is, if you don't vote, how are you going to see changes?
Right.
Right? You're supposed to vote for change. You're supposed to vote into office the folks that actually has your points of views, that is actually willing to help you in your community, right? So
I spoke to someone that's 31 today, and he was saying my vote won't do any good, and I explained what voting does, and I said, well, the millenniums and the Xers, he was saying that they don't do anything, they don't want to work. I said, well, the next generation is
yes,
gonna
if it's
be
not
taking
impacting you,
over.
it's impacting somebody else. So
Right.
please be
So I
thankful.
was-
Be
When I
thoughtful
finished,
of
he
the
said,
people.
I'm
Yes.
gonna vote, and I told him it's very important to vote. So he did vote.
Hey guys,
Hello.
can we join?
Yes, you can join here.
We're about to close, but what is it? We have 20 minutes. If you guys don't want to join and voice your opinions, we could sorry.
For the younger girls, for the policings in the school. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Oh,
we have some people come sit down.
yeah, sorry. We don't have a lot of chairs on
They can have
the
my seat.
They will have my two here, bye.
what is it?
Yeah, they can have
Ni
my
laban
chair.
no. That's pink. They ni laban no.
Yo, no,
Well, I could stand.
I understand.
We'll wait for the use. No.
I can stand. We can stand. Think it's LG.
I wanna see it.
Fine.
I'm not tall.
你做，
你做飛毛山。
佢部架係嗰陣要落特殊啦，because right more like 10 minutes, not minutes. Okay. Yeah, I got a lot of特殊的過程，你哋俾談下住，即係落咗邊嘢一次。Yeah.
兩支種啊？
Sorry, everyone. We have our youth justice joining us, so this is very exciting. Everybody is just getting settled. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, so hi, youth justice. I'm so glad that you guys are here with us. Um, what is it? So, some of the points that we have been talking about, and have some of the points that we have been talking about is the mayor in in the previous budget, the mayor investing in putting more money into the police and not investing in the community, right? So we're also talking about the Assembly Bill of the Assembly Bill 69, where they are requiring public schools to report incidences that happens on school grounds and in the building or whatever. We're not to law enforcement, right? we just really want to know what our youth thinks because they are the ones that are actually in the schools right now. And how do you guys actually feel about the police in schools? We talked about how Santia believes that um, police should be out of schools, right? But then Gloria is thinking about uh, coming up with the conversation of putting police back into our schools, right? So we just really want to know how the youth feel and how they, if they were a mayor themselves, right? How they would, um, how they will solve that, how they will solve that issue, right? So I'll open the floor to the youth and see if you guys have any comments.
So can you give us some ideas on what some of the mayors, the candidates responded,
Oh,
responses were?
yes, we were able to ask this question directly to them, but then we know that they were talking around it or whatever, whatnot, in other forums and stuff. And they also have like a older article that talks about how
There's a forum this Saturday.
yeah, and then they talk about how Santia talks about how she supports ending the school resources officer program in 2020. I wasn't really able to find anything closer to date of what her opinions was about police in schools, but what is it? But Gloria says that she would she would like to talk about how to put police back into schools, and she is also being endorsed by the Madison Police Union. So that will say a lot too. And she's a former police officer.
So
Yeah.
for the youth that are newer before 20 or after 2020, when we would go to school board meetings, Gloria was the president during the time, and so she kind of controlled or kind of made the decision of what the school board did or didn't do. So she quit her job, or she quit being the school resource officer, and went back to, then went to being a president of Briar Patch, and now she's running for mayor. So her whole goal of the school board was to keep police in schools. And so she was for the police, for the police, for the police, and we kept giving her like options of like actually invest into Black youth, invest into the school. So you guys have heard y'all say like the lunches is trash, the bathroom is horrible, and just things like that. And we would always address that and give her evidence of just how we talk to evidence on things like that. So I think a balanced question for the youth would be, how would you, what are some things that y'all want to see different in schools instead of the police? So if this $3 million is just a ballpark, $3 million that
Right.
they're investing into cops, what are some other, other things that y'all would want to see in schools?
Something that I would like to see more is resources for Black students to have their voice heard, or resources on how, to basically spread how they feel instead of being talked like people talking for them.
Oh, that's a good one.
I would say that to like mental health for students, because in those adolescent ages, mental health can be bad with changing and being around different people and growing up and stuff. So I'd say more staff of color. Yeah. Because like it's just more comfortable for them because they have teachers who respect them, so they want people to focus on.
More
Yeah,
diversity.
like,
And they walked in your shoes before, so they know how to relate and how to help you.
So I said we culturally different.
Yeah.
What do y'all, remember we spent some time talking about how we don't want police to be the option of like how we handle like problems in school? What do we want them to invest in instead of, investing in police?
More of like restorative justice, like basically hearing what the student has to say, figuring out a plan how, if this happens again, like what they can do. Instead of just punishing the students by, calling the like security guards on them or like calling the office, basically trying to figure out what happened and how they can find a solution to the problem.
Piggybacking off what you said, like schools don't give children enough time to really figure out what they did wrong and go through the situation. They just suspend them and tell them what they did wrong instead of actually trying to figure out what's going on. And I just feel like we need more people that handle restorative justice inside of our schools. We need more people that understand what goes on outside of the community so they can help inside of our schools, because if you don't know what's going on outside in your community, how can you help with students inside of the school that you don't even understand? Because what happens outside of school is gonna automatically be carried with students inside of school, just based off, the area that they're around and the stuff that they go through. And if you can't understand what's going on in your area with the Black and brown community, then you're gonna be lost with them.
Yeah. We were talking about housing earlier too, just to tie it all back with what is it you were saying earlier? We were talking about how housing, if like because like we were talking about housing and how like there are students in these mass and school districts that are homeless, and how that could actually also impact them day to day or whatever and stuff, right? Yeah, and we were just talking about how like what is it? How we would like the mayor to be to address these housing issues or whatever, whatnot, right? Sorry, I forgot where I was going with that. I lost my train of thought, but yeah, I have something so great and I blah 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 blah, and then it just leaves me. But
that's what I was saying. Like children, they be having like that's why I was saying like they need to invest more into restorative justice leaders, because I get that y'all like when we say we want more counselors in schools and we want more Black and brown people who understand this children, we need like people that y'all been seeing that been to protest or Black Lives Matter events and stuff like that. That's the type of people we should have y'all searching for, or when it comes to like children going through things. Because if you're invested into counselors, you're investing into people who don't truly have time for kids. Counselors go through lists and scratch off who they got to talk to for the day. They can't really connect with kids how restorative justice leaders can, or people who actually want to go to school to like help students. Like counselors be thinking, I'm going to school to help kids, but it's like they sit in the office all day trying to figure out their schedule around 300,000 students inside the school, and it's just like not the same as an actual teacher being there for you every day, 8 hours out of the day of half your life.
all the counselors in school, I only remember going to them about schedules. I never go to them about like, actually talking about like what's actually issues that's bothering me or whatever or not, because they never have time for that. They're always like, we could talk about that another. Yeah, we could talk about that another time. This one student actually need my help, so I'm gonna go help this one other student, whatever or not. Yeah.
So as far as that, how would you guys feel about like some of the parents, that had extra time coming in as like a group of parents and just getting together and just having sit downs and discussing how you guys' day went or what issues you were having? For parents that were understanding. I ain't talking about parents that's gonna get in there and sit your and start, cracking you upside the head, nothing like that. Just having a full out discussion on how your day was going and what was bothering you guys.
Like if the school board would just look into more communities like Freedom Inks, and I know it's other organizations out here that they can look into, that would be more than willing to work inside of our schools to help bring restorative justice within our schools. Like, why aren't y'all paying us to come help y'all with these kids? Like, y'all trying to put money into people that ain't even trained to work with kids. It don't make no sense.
Right. I guess my other question would be, oh, sorry. Do you have something? I noticed that you guys were talking over there. You guys wanted to say something before I add something? Yeah.
Yeah. Also that we should hold teachers and school officers accountable. Because it creates harm for the youth and it makes the issue. And when they call the police on youth, because it makes the issue bigger,
Yeah.
and harms them.
Yeah, I never understood that. I never understood why there's like a fight and your instinct would be like, oh, call the police to like separate them. Or whatever or not.
They don't know what to do with that.
Right. And then at the same time, if the student does get arrested, what does that do for them? Does that actually really help them or whatever or not too? So
They passing the buck to somebody else because they don't want to take the time out to resolve it.
yeah.
Also, that basically, like building on that, they blame it on the youth. Why they have to bring police people.
In reality, you just don't want to do
because of the fights and all of that. But in reality, it's like it doesn't help anything. It makes the issue.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like when they like have cops inside the schools and they want them to, they literally have them inside the schools so you can look at that officer and say, let me reevaluate my whole life and not do anything to look suspicious or hold myself like I'm a criminal or something because I don't want to get in trouble. That's the mindset that y'all want kids to have. Y'all want them to go about life thinking that they have to be straight, move like this, walk like this, can't make mistakes, or else they're going to go to jail, or else they're going to get ticketed, or else it's going to lead to something bigger. And that's not helping kids understand because both parties feel like they did something to protect themselves or they had to do something or else it was going to end this way, or they had to fight that person because if they didn't fight that person, then the person wasn't going to leave them alone. It's always two sides to the story. And when y'all just suspending these kids for nothing, they're gonna be like, I just got suspended for nothing. Like I just got suspended for
trying to protect myself.
And that's like one of the main points that I try to bring across to them. Like, y'all can't suspend people for protecting themselves, but at the same time, they be like, we can't change the systematic rules. And it's like, it's bigger than just our teachers and principals. We have to take it up with the school board because our teachers and principals can only do so much before they get like fired or something like that for trying to help,
Yes. Sorry, I really just lost my train of thought because this conversation is going so well. What is it? So just to come back and summarize, we do have 3 more minutes. Coming back and focusing on like the mayor race or whatever or not, right? We really wanna just summarizing back into how we want to defund, how we want to divest from the police and we want to invest in the community, right? We want to invest in youth too, how providing resources for them to actually survive and thrive, right? What is it? We need a leader that will actually show up for themselves, right? For us, for everybody, right? What is this? So we're talking about the importance of voting, right? How we were just talking about this right when you guys were walking in. How important voting is. How we are we have the power to put these people into office, and we can also easily take it away from them in the next election, whatever or not, right? So that's how important voting is. What is it? Some of the also other campaigns that Oh, you have something?
Yeah, I was gonna say something about the voting. Like, even when it comes to voting, like they don't really put enough out in our schools to let kids know how much voting affects our lives. Like, if I knew what I knew now about voting, I would have been trying to go vote or been trying to do that. All we ever know is go vote. You finna be 18, go vote. Okay.
Right.
Go
Nothing
vote.
into explanation.
And then it's like, okay,
like my brothers,
vote.
my brothers and them were just saying that like, oh, what is like Supreme Court? What is a superintendent? What is the mayor?
Like,
what
I'm finna go. Then you get to the ballot. You like,
who exactly do I vote for too?
Wait, this Cause said they don't want this, they don't want this in the state, they don't want this, they don't want that. It's like, why aren't y'all having classes where y'all letting these 18-year-olds know that we can really make a change? Like my era of kids can really make a change if we actually knew what was going on with the voting system, but they be trying to throw us off. Like they be thinking the major votes are the only ones that matter, but it matters when it's mayors, when it's presidents, all that stuff matters.
Right. Because it's all what is it? Government that controls us, right? What is it? Other campaigns that FI is going on was the people's budget, right? Where we were able to send out surveys to ask folks if they were to have this amount of money, how would they invest in how would they invest into the community or whatever, not right? Of course, a lot of our response were to take the money away from our police and to fund it into like housing, into schools, into healthcare and stuff, right? Another campaign that we are actually also running right now is abortion access, right? Because of Roe v. Wade was overturned, Wisconsin went back to banning abortion. So we also something that's also very important in this race and voting right now that is coming up is also the Supreme Court, right? The Supreme Court is going to talk about this lawsuit that is within the state of Wisconsin right now to overturn this ban in Wisconsin. So this is going to be very important to look out for. Again, I'm very appreciative of all of our community members that is here and about the YJT that is here. If anybody want to make any what is it? Oh yeah, and I'm also thinking the people that is joining through Facebook Live and through YouTube. This one and I see your comments. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to answer all the questions that was on there. But yeah, anything that anybody else wanted to say before we close? No. Thank you.
Let's do more of this,
I like going live. I'm
like the people's forum and just letting folks know what the community actually needs.
Talking our hearts out. To the two viewers watching, we love you, baby.
Sounds good.
You loyal.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Bye.
2 million of what?
Bye.
Bye. Bye.